All right, everybody. So I'm Lucas Martin. I'm a sophomore here at Clemson University. I'm a management and entrepreneurship major, and I worked here at Launchpad last semester as an intern. It was a really good opportunity. And I showed up to Clemson, and I really just wanted to find all the entrepreneurship resources because I was exposed to pitch competitions and some incredible opportunities in high school. And Clemson's done such a great job in providing me such incredible resources. So my goal today is to give you my pitch that I give in real competitions. Hopefully you can take away a couple things from it. Hopefully there's some strategies or tips or things that you could use today when you pitch later. It doesn't follow the exact rubric you guys are doing, but there are a lot of similarities that you will notice. So with that being said, I'm going to get started by saying that I appreciate all of your time listening to my presentation. Naturally, I'm excited to introduce you to my EdTech startup, Ripple, and obviously you guys are going to have some questions. So I'm excited to answer those at the end of the presentation. This pitch takes about 12 minutes, and again, there'll be some time at the end for questions. So with that being said, let's go right into the problem. A great startup addresses a problem that the founders are passionate about. In this problem, you guys are lucky today because it has a lot to do with what you guys are living right now, which is high school curriculum. We found that 54% of students are disengaged with their learning. They're not interested in the curriculum or the assignments that their teachers roll out. And on top of that, 77% of teachers admit that their job is stressful. So it's no secret that there are a lot of AI companies working right now to find a solution. But guess what? My founders and I disagree with the direction that these current solutions are going because they create a disconnect in the classroom. Students are starting to learn more from robots or algorithms rather than their teacher who actually understands their failures and their successes. And when I look back on my high school experience, what I took away the most were those relationships I built with the teacher and the communication skills and soft and professionalism skills that I learned because I was actually interacting with a human being in the classroom. So I sat down with my co-founders with the goal of using AI to not create a disconnect in the classroom, but rather foster that human connection. And we found that AI creates a strong link between all of your specific student interests and the materials that you guys are working on every day. So what I'm saying is that, like, right now, your math problem in class is probably about Sally has 10 apples, but in reality, it could totally be about basketball and win percentages for me, or something that you're interested in specifically. And that way, I would be a lot more engaged in my learning. So we came up with our value proposition that we wanted to kind of create with an AI company. And that's that we want Ripple to enhance students' connection to their teachers and curriculum by tailoring high school learning materials to their individual interests. Imagine that all of us in this room together are taking the same math class. But my project is about basketball, my friend's project is about skiing, my friend's is about acting, and everything that we're interested in specifically. We're still working on the same problems, the same structure, the same frameworks, but now we're actually engaged in learning. And when I'm talking to my teacher about the problem I'm working on, we're talking about something I'm actually interested in, and we're starting to build a connection. So we've been developing for 3 months now, and we're using a multi-agent AI model that pulls 3 things. It pulls existing curriculum, materials that your teacher has created, and then your own student interests. And it uses all of that to create your own personalized homework assignment. So I've got Henry helping me out here. He's going to help me run through a quick demo, actually, of our website. So you go to that first tab. This is what the backend looks like. As a teacher, you create your classroom, and all of your students have accounts. So these accounts know you take a survey at the start, what you're interested in. It knows that I like basketball and skiing, and I love entrepreneurship. And then as a teacher, since all your students already have accounts, you just go to generate a project, and you upload your old assignment that you've already rolled out, and it then, in a matter of 10 seconds, creates 30 completely unique projects to all of your students' accounts. So he's running a demo here. It's an entrepreneurship class, multiple choice question for the sake of today. And he's going to tailor it to Clemson football because that's what I'm interested in, all right? So instead of the question, which of the following is an example of a revenue stream for a business, now it's asking me, Clemson football has several ways to generate revenue. Which of the following is an example of a recurring revenue stream for Clemson football? And that's a question I've never seen before because the AI just generated it right now, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to generate 2 more questions based on what you guys like. So I need a volunteer. So I'm going to throw out a random specific, try to screw up the AI, throw out a specific area of interest. Who's got it?
Banking.
Banking? Be more specific. Be more specific. Clemson football is specific. Say, Duke. Duke.
Duke, yeah.
University.
Lacrosse.
Duke men's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse. All right, put it in there. Duke women's lacrosse. So again, the teacher would upload a full assignment, right? This would be your whole review packet, and it would now be personalizing it to Duke women's lacrosse. So again, it's the same structure, it's the same framework, but now it's about if you're actually interested, which I guess is Duke women's lacrosse. So, we'll do one more. Just got one more idea. You can go to the next time.
Seneca Bobcat.
Let's go off the sports. Let's try to stop the AI. What do you got?
LeBron James 2013.
All right, LeBron James 2013, 2014. That's still sports. We'll try it out. That's pretty specific. This is the fun part. Is it's going to generate a question I've never seen before. It's not like I was sitting there this morning with LeBron James.
Oh, Mr. One.
Well, let's see what it says. During the 2013-14 NBA season, LeBron James had local revenue streams, which the following be considered recurring revenue. See what I mean? Imagine that when you're in school, you're working on projects that actually interest you. And then when you're working with the teacher, they're learning about your interests in building that relationship. Just go back to the camera now and bottom right, there's 2 arrows. Perfect. All right, so that's a great spot to introduce my team. Again, I'm Lucas Martin. I'm our CEO. I'm a Clemson business student here. And I'm working with 2 other co-founders. Bryce is an engineering major at Dartmouth, and he has also gotten super involved with all of their entrepreneurship resources. And Marley is an engineering major at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Now, both of them are taking the lead with the development of the AI. I'm starting to learn about it. That's not my strong suit. But together we share a passion to innovate in education, and we're really excited to start rolling this out in schools. So to help you understand how big the market is and how big of an opportunity this is, I've broken down how many high schools are in the U.S. There's over 115,000 schools in general, and over 30,000 high schools specifically. Now, I want to be realistic, so I cut it down to about 5,000 high schools that actually have budgets for innovative spending. And what that means is that they're willing to take risks on a company like ours because they want to improve their students' learning and they have access to that funding. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know we can't go and sell to 5,000 high schools, so I cut it down to 5% of that, a realistic market cap of 5%. If we can engage 5% of those schools, we'll be working with 262 high schools. It comes out to be 2,400,000 students. So now you're seeing some big numbers and you see the potential. And for our business model, we're charging $8 per year per student. Now we researched all sorts of competitors, all sorts of other software as a service companies that work with schools, and we found that this market of $8 a year per student is very fair and will compete with our main competitors. Now, when the teacher signs up their classroom at the start of the year, say they make 40 student accounts, then we're charging $8 for each of those student accounts. Now, here's an example of our target customer. This is Stephanie Lolich, and she's the head of my old high school's business department. Now, why it's important that she's the head of the department is because she has access to department-specific funds. For a while, I was trying to talk with districts and administrators, and they were super hard to reach and super resistant to change. But Lolich is in the classroom herself, and she sees the direct impact, and she has access to that money to help her school start to use our Ripple software. She's also a future thinker, which is very important. She's known for saying, never stand still in business. And we need a teacher that is innovative and looking for ways to improve her students' experience. So for competitive analysis, I wanted to highlight that our company is working specifically to curate your homework assignments to your specific interests. There's other AI companies like Risk, Magic School, and Cognito, but they're focused on generating curriculum, helping teachers grade assignments, or creating new materials for the teachers to teach you in class. None of them are working specifically on personalizing homework assignments. And here's a competitive analysis in math. As you can see, it compares on the x-axis, whether it's standard homework or personalized and tailored to the student. And on the y-axis, it compares whether it wastes teachers' time or if it's efficient, it saves them time when creating assignments. Now, as you can see, there's some white space in the top right quadrant. That's exactly where Ripple comes in. We offer personalized assignments and we save the teacher time and plan. So for our go-to-market, see this picture here, my friend Marlon, my co-founder, he's already a student teacher at Middleton High School near Wisconsin-Madison, and that's our first step. We want to be on the ground in schools, working with teachers and testing out this model. Now, we're starting specifically with AP statistics and microeconomics classrooms because the AI does a really good job of finding the correlation between interests and those curriculums. And we're also attending some administration and some teacher conferences this spring where we'll be able to talk to a lot of teachers and a lot of those Stephanie Loliches that we want to sell to. So for our current traction, we're working with 3 teachers right now with beta testing. Marley's working with one in Wisconsin, and I'm working as a TA this semester with Richard Jurgen, who's an MBA professor here at Clemson University. He's got 125 students, and he's believed in me by the end of the semester to roll out personalized assignments for all of them. And then after I get back to Minnesota after the school year, I'll be working with my old high school for their AP statistics review assignments. They've agreed also to let us test out the project generation and get some real feedback on how our software works. And I know you don't like to see 0 paid users. I hate that it says that. I want to be making money right now, but the hope is next semester, after all of this proof of concept this year, we'll be able to actually start charging these schools some money. So I want to wrap up by highlighting again how perfect my team is for this job. We all share a passion for innovating in education, and we are steadfast in our beliefs that personalizing homework assignments creates value and will engage students more in the classroom. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for your time and open up the floor to any questions, comments, or concerns. So thank you. There's 5 years that can go off people working in the company? Yeah. Yeah, so right now, we've actually had conversations about bringing on a second developer now that we have a pretty increased timeline and how quickly we need to roll out projects. We're always confident you can do it for this MBA class, but if we start to work with 3 or 4 classrooms, we're probably gonna need to bring someone else on the AI side. Other than that, it's just all about the capacity we can handle in terms of handling our school. Each one schools need to bring on more people to sell and to handle these relationships, and well, it's all about how fast you grow. What's your outreach process? It's a schools. Yeah, I mean, it's all just about building connections right now. It's my old high school. I've leveraged with this MBA professor here, just building that connection. And then once we have that proof of concept and show a school that we're working with them, that's when we can actually start to market a little more and try to engage some schools that we don't have a foot in.
When you were starting with microeconomics and what do you think you're going to expand to next? And also, how do you think it's going to work when you try to expand to liberal arts like English, social studies, things like that?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting because it's not perfect for every concept. Stats and micro are awesome. It's super easy to find correlation, but like we've run into the problem where we try to generate for US history. If I try to tell it to make a Civil War project about Clemson football, it's going to kind of be trying to pull on some strings. It's not going to be a direct connection. So we know it's definitely better for some subjects than others, and we're aware of that, but it's as simple as selling to those classrooms rather than any sales.
So they're in 3 beta classrooms, right? Has that proved increased academic success for those classrooms?
Yeah, so those 3 classrooms right now, we've gathered data on before they've used our assignments. And for example, in this Clemson classroom, we're on assignment 1 right now. By the 3rd assignment, we're going to personalize the assessments. We're beta testing and we haven't officially rolled out our first assignment yet, but if you ask me in 3 weeks, I'll have the answer. Thank you, guys.